So I know I'm a little bit late on this. This whole thing happened a few days ago, but I don't know. I felt like I should talk about it a little bit. So if you're not aware, on December 3rd, which was this past Thursday when I'm recording this, it is now December 6th. The Game Awards took place. It was live streamed. It was a whole big thing, And during the course of the night, Metal Gear Solid 5 won an award. It was Best Action Adventure Game. But Hideo Kojima himself did not accept the award. Instead, Kiefer Sutherland, the voice of Snake in this game, was the one who went up on stage and accepted the award. After he accepted the award, the camera cut back to Jeff Keighley, who was the host of the Game Awards, and he kind of just, I don't know if he was supposed to do it. I don't know what the story was behind how he found out and what he was allowed and not allowed to say or whatever, but he kind of just, for all intents and purposes, was straight up honest. And I'm going to go ahead and quote him here. Mr. Kojima had every intention of being with us tonight, but unfortunately he was informed by a lawyer representing Konami just recently that he would not be allowed to travel to tonight's award ceremony to accept any awards. He's still under an employment contract, and it's disappointing. And then, the whole audience started booing, and it was like, oh, bullshit, and what have you. So, this obviously has had people a little outraged. Everybody, Twitter exploded with, fuck Konami. There was a fuck Konami hashtag. People were all tweeting to Kojima himself saying, congratulations, you should have been there to get this award. All that stuff that you would expect to happen. And here's the thing. I'm totally with everybody. Everybody's right. Konami is one collective bag of dicks. That's what that building is now. And everybody's right. The thing I wonder is, right, we don't exactly know, because nobody will talk about it, because Kojima, in his defense, is being ridiculously professional and hasn't said a word about the whole thing. He's just taking care of his business. We don't know exactly what happened between him and the suits at Konami. We don't know what damaged their relationship to the point that they just kicked him the fuck out of the building, out of the business. So we don't know exactly what went down. It's still totally possible that, as much as we all love Kojima, and yes, he is a god in the gaming space, it could have been his fault. We don't know. It probably wasn't. Let's be honest, but we don't know. We weren't there. We don't know the actual story. We can only guess by bits and pieces that have been trickling out since this whole thing started. Also, he's under an employment contract. I don't know of any contract. I've never worked in the gaming industry. I've never worked in Japan. I don't know how these things work. But I don't think you'd ever hear of an employment contract like that. If you've worked for somebody, that you can't go somewhere. It might have to do with the fact that they own the property. That being Metal Gear. And obviously it was just for spite, because they don't want his face being anywhere. I don't think there was an explicit line in the contract that says, should this game win an award, Mr. Kojima may. You know what I mean? I think the more likely truth is that there's just some kind of clause in his contract that states, while he remains under contract, he cannot basically appear under the Konami banner. So basically, accepting this reward would give off the image that he's still working for them, when in reality he's not. That's what I think it is. I just wanted to I don't know. I figure that's, from what I've heard of people talking about this, they haven't really looked at it from that angle. They just assume that they've all been saying the same thing. It was just people were just ranting about it, and that's fine. That's great. He should have gotten his award. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that whole fucking lawyer thing. And on top of that, continuing with the lawyer, really? Did they really send the lawyer to his house? Or, did he have lunch with a lawyer or something, and they had to go out of their way to let him know that he couldn't go? That's a little extreme. I'm pretty sure a phone call would have done the job, especially if he obviously knows the suits well. I mean, even if they fucking hate each other, they could have very easily just been like, listen, you're under contract, don't do it. But, Konami is in a state now where they obviously don't care about the gaming space anymore. They've moved full steam into other sources of business. They with their pachinko machines and all that. They're trying to delete, I think, gaming from their portfolio altogether, which is probably one of the reasons why they didn't want him showing up. They're tying up loose ends is what it looks like to me at this point. Metal Gear Solid 5 will most likely be the last Metal Gear game. Rest in peace. The only other franchise they have going is Pro Evo, and that's probably going to end after this year or next year, whatever it happens to be. Note, they haven't said anything. They've mentioned back and forth that they're looking into other things, but they haven't come straight out and said, we're not doing games anymore. Like, we'll never make a game again. They haven't said those words. So, I mean, until they say it, it's probably not going to happen. I don't think they're going to say it, though. I think they're just going to slowly and quietly disintegrate from the video game industry. One day, we're gonna be walking around and go, hey, you know what never happened anymore? Konami. As much as they said, we just never got a Konami game again. I think that's how it's going to happen. I don't think you're going to get this big press conference that's, the CEO of Konami. Oh, today is the last day we ever put our name on a video game. Like, you're not going to hear that. It's going to be really quiet. Especially, the main reason they probably didn't do that now, come to think of it, I know I'm going on a tangent here, but the main reason they didn't go to do that now or in the past few months was because they knew this is probably going to be their last big project, which was Metal Gear Solid 5, and they wanted to ensure that it made money. So they tried their hardest to keep this whole thing under wraps so that people would still buy the game. And you know what? To be honest, even if they didn't keep it under wraps, people would have bought the game anyway because everybody knew it was going to be a great game, and it was. So I don't think they had to worry, but they're a business and they have to make money and they have to worry about their bottom line. But anyway, yeah, that's my 2 cents on the whole situation. I know I went off on a little Konami tangent there, but yeah, hopefully this whole thing eventually gets sorted out. Kojima finds somewhere else to work, or you know what? Fuck it, he's probably made enough money. Maybe it's time for him to retire. Who knows? He's not old, but maybe it's time for him to retire. And yeah, so I will see you guys on the next live stream.